Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 167 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, aka the B-Man, the People's Degenerate, Confused, Conflicted. One word that is, confused, conflicted. Are you either of those? I do not care, nor do I care if I am, but I am both. But there is a man on Instagram, and I'm assuming he's a man. Maybe that is my misogyny coming out, which often does here at Verbal Graffiti. But yeah, there is an account on Instagram, which I found 2 nights ago or discovered, came up on my feed. He goes by the name Confused, Conflicted, and I spent half an hour watching his videos. I'll put his link right here. I don't know what he looks like, but he puts videos of himself playing Grand Theft Auto. I'm assuming the most recent one. I know there's a new one coming out. Don't know if it's game 6 or number 6 or 7. I'm not a video game guy. I have pain in my hands, probably from wanking it too much. But I have pain in both hands, which is odd because I wank with my right. Anyways, moving forward, I have pain in my hands, and I've never been talented at video games. The last game I had any whiz at was Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis, the original. When I was in college, my roommate, Dave, common name, that's why I have no, I gotta say his name. His name is Dave. We were roommates, and he probably hated me because we would play 2 games. We'd play Halo, and we'd play whatever the Madden was at the time. This was early 2000s. And we would play Halo, and I did not know how to control the character I was anytime. So I would just always end up like bouncing into a wall and not like getting the control to get him out of it. So Dave would just kill me and then go fight everybody else every single time. And when we played Madden, I could never figure out how to set up a play properly. So by the end of the first half, Dave would be up on me like 45-3. And it's just like when you play against somebody who has no skill at video games, even though you're kicking his ass, like it's not enjoyable because there's no challenge at all. And I'm so bad at video games, the B-Man that is, that when playing a game like Halo, I don't know how to turn my character around. I'm not even talking about like shooting somebody. Like I don't know, I didn't even get to I couldn't even like turn my character around to face an enemy. I would just get shot execution style, fall down, screen would turn red, black, and have to wait 90 seconds before you're reborn. But this guy is very talented. This Instagram account, Confused, Conflicted, and he'll put up like a 30-second reel of him getting a street hooker. The hooker will come into his vehicle, will give him sloppy top, head, blowjobs, fellatio, and then she'll get out of the car, and then he will follow her and shoot her, execution style, and then the screen goes red. This is every video, and then he puts up music over it, which I don't know like how his videos haven't gotten taken down because he'll use real music with lyrics and all that, and I'm not sure if that's allowed on Instagram, but he does it, and these are every video, and he's got hundreds of them, and I've watched almost every one. It's literally 30 seconds of him picking up a street hooker, and you don't really see it, but like you see the head bobbing up and down, and you see some tit, but it's like, I guess it's allowed on Instagram because it's video game tit, not real life booby jiggly tit, and then he leaves the babe. Learn how to speak, Brian. Sorry. I'm flustered because I'm thinking of these videos with the street hookers, but they're fake because it's a video game, but it's very realistic looking. And that's what his page is. Confused, Conflicted is this guy filming himself, or filming the screen of him playing Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5, whatever the most recent one is, picking up street hookers and then shooting them right after. And I watched all these videos, all his reels on his page At least an hour. I was watching these videos, not being hyperbolic when I say that. And that's why I'm not successful in life. Because you cannot waste an hour of your life watching someone's account of getting street hookers on Grand Theft Auto and then murdering them as they leave your vehicle and watch 30-second clips of that for an hour and be productive in life. Like that's a microcosm of my life right there. I don't consider it waste because I did enjoy watching these videos for an hour. I can't believe a guy made a channel doing this, and it's a very successful channel on Instagram, and I enjoyed it. But there in the back of my head, I realized, oh, like successful people will look at me looking at these roadhead execution videos from Grand Theft Auto as that's why I wouldn't hire that someone and pay him a very high salary because this is what he does in his free time. But these guys, these videos are very, I know there's a new Grand Theft Auto coming out, I believe this fall or maybe early next year, and I'm going to have to buy whatever console, whatever computer system it's PlayStation 5 or Nintendo, whatever one Grand Theft Auto is on, I am going to buy the gaming system and the game. So that's probably going to cost me upwards. How much do game consoles cost? Like probably $1,000 when everything's included with the controllers and all the sound system and everything. So I'm going to spend $1,000 just so I can pick up a street hooker on Grand Theft Auto and execute her as she leaves my car after giving me roadhead. And that is what this Instagram page has convinced me to do, because that's all I want to do. That's all that's been on my mind the last 48 hours after watching every video on his account. Again, confused, conflicted that seems like a lot of fun. Like I knew Grand Theft Auto. Like, I think I might have played the first version of it with my friend Dave, or like I knew you could like leave your car and like beat up citizens with a bat or like a stick or something, and you could crash into civilians. But I didn't realize like you could pick up hookers and then kill them. And there are other ones where he walked into like a 7-Eleven and shot the clerk after getting a pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, whoa. This is a game that B-Man, I need to fuck with this game. And if it's going to cost me $1,000 and I need to pick up a second job so I can get the funds to buy it, like I know I have pain in my hands, but I might just have to get the pain to be able to kill an imaginary street hooker, floozy, streetwalker. Wow, what a great, why am I wasting my time showing my face when I could just play a game and show myself play again? I can't do it because I don't know how to turn characters around. Like the direction, this is what's always, like I'm not sure now, but at least like 10, 15 years ago, when you played video games, if you wanted to turn left, like you had to turn the controller right. Very similar to like when you ride a boat, I guess you go the opposite direction and then for the direction you want the boat to go. And I was never able... Like I knew that you had to turn the controller left if you wanted your character to turn right, but to do it consistently without having to think, like I just wasn't that mind to hand, like coordination. Because I was never able to figure that out and be able to do it consistently where I could turn my character around before I got shot in the back of the head execution style. That's why I do this. That's why I talk in front of a camera, because I'm not good at the gaming. But Grand Theft Auto, like if there are street hookers that are giving you sloppy top and you could shoot them execution style afterwards, I got to pick up Grand Theft Auto and become a gamer. Like, that's what the B-Man's going to do, regardless of the cost of getting everything to be able to play it. All right, upwards. Let's move it along. Now, this one comes from the subreddit. The Big Girl Diary, 8/3/2025, so that's August 3rd, 2025. Comfort zones and boundaries in love. Learning to balance myself and love. Aren't we all? Last night, my boyfriend suggested we go on a roller coaster together. He's a thrill seeker, but I've always been terrified of roller coasters and never tried one. He didn't pressure me, but I sensed he really wanted me to join him. I began to question, is this a test of our relationship boundaries, pushing me outside of my comfort zone? I struggle with the idea of respecting my comfort zone versus showing my love by stepping outside of it. Is love about pushing boundaries, or should it be about honoring each other's limits and finding balance? I wasn't sure which side of me to trust. After talking it through with my boyfriend, I realized it's not about forcing myself into discomfort for love's sake. Love should be about understanding and compromise. We agreed I could take things at my own pace, slowly stepping out of my comfort zone when I'm ready. I didn't need to give up my boundaries to show my love. How do you balance your own boundaries with the needs of your relationship? Question mark. Bitches be stupid. What else can I say? Bitches be stupid. How can you read that post and come to any other conclusion? Bitches be stupid. Like, you read a post like that, like we just did, and I'm done having any desire to try to understand babe's logic and how your mind works. Because whatever that was, I'll never understand it. I'm done trying to understand what it means. You bitches, be stupid. I don't even... there's no... this is babes' critical thinking. Is this how your critical thinking is? Is like your boy toy asks you to go on a roller coaster and you view that as some type of monumental step in your relationship. Like, hey, if I go to Six Flags and go on the Superman ride with my boy toy, does that mean we're one step away from him getting down on his knee and proposing with an engagement ring? No. No, as a guy, I'll tell you, no. There are no boundaries or no test of your love and where it's at with your boy toy. I don't know who your boy toy is, but I don't know. Like, if I were to ask a babe to go on a roller coaster with me, it would be no test of the relationship and where we're at together. It's just, hey, I want to go on a roller coaster, and most roller coasters there's like two people. So if you don't come with me, like, I'm going to be seated next to a stranger and he might be picking his nose, and when we're up and he might be screaming, it's going to be hella awkward. And that's why I'm asking you. It's why I'm being a gracious host, a gracious boy toy. And that's why I want you to come along with me, because I don't want to be seated next to some stranger when I'm 200 feet in the air doing the loopy-loop. And I wouldn't ask a babe to go on a roller coaster with me because I'm not an adrenaline junkie. That's not. I'm a scaredy cat, a pussy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I don't like heights. I don't get on ladders. I do want to go on a Ferris wheel, but a roller coaster with the upwards and the loops, So maybe I am your perfect partner, because I've never been on a roller coaster either. But I just think your boyfriend's bored. He's bored. Like, he's bored. He's been watching Vanderpump Rules and Below Deck with you for the last 90 days. And your couch has the imprint of your bodies in it. And he wants to do something that just makes him feel alive. This is not a jigsaw puzzle of your boundaries and where you're at together. Like, to test the boundaries is... it's like you fart in front of each other. You tell racist jokes. You talk shit about family members. That's testing a boundary. If it's pre-lovemaking, you put your hand on the inner thigh and you keep, you keep going up a little bit. that inner thigh slowly moving upward, that's testing the boundary of your love, not a roller coaster. That's just a boy toy liking to have some fun. And the fact that you're turning a request to go on a roller coaster into a couples therapy session. Like, I'm exhausted for your boy toy. Like, he should break up with you for turning it into a therapy session. Like, how are you going to test this boundary without going on a roller coaster? This boundary that you decide is a boundary. Like, what? Are you going to go to the park and go down one of those metal slides and then slowly work your way to one of the plastic, like, twisty ones that's covered, that goes a loop twice? And then like slowly work your way, the kiddie roller coaster, and then the big boy Superman? Like you're just everything about you is tedious. It's reading your post and how your mind works. It makes me thankful that I'm a loser without a lover, and I don't have to deal with conversations like this at the current moment. Let's go look at some photos. Hang 10, bruh. Big wave surfers need to be called out for their stolen valor. And who better to be calling out these big wave surfers than the B-Man, somebody who has not stepped foot in an ocean or any body of water other than an in-ground pool the last year. I've sworn off the ocean because there are creatures in there. There are jellyfish. I do not want to be stung. So I will no longer step foot and swim in the ocean because I have sensitive skin and I do not want to be stung. I respect the ocean, its power, its magnitude, and the creatures that are amphibians that are inside of it that I can't see. I am land. You are the ocean. Separation between the B-Man and the ocean, I've accepted that. But these big wave surfers, they're showing up on my feed. So my feed is wild these days. It's video game street hookers giving sloppy top and then getting executed, and it's big wave surfers. Should we call them that? I don't think we should. Now, the B-Man, I fuck with Kelly Slater. I've always fucked with Kelly Slater, even since he was on Baywatch and fucking Pamela Anderson on the show. Maybe they did in real life, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I'm not here to start rumors. But Kelly Slater, he is the king of big wave surfing. He's the king of all surfing. He's the grandfather, originally from California, but then he moved to Hawaii, I believe. All right, but enough about Kelly Slater. I'm not going to besmirch his name, but all the other surfers who call themselves big wave surfers, the ones who go out with the jet ski because the waves are too big to swim out, so they go out there in a jet ski, and they have a pal, and then there's always a camera crew because you're not allowed to surf a big wave unless it's being documented, because if it's not documented and not put on social media, then you didn't actually surf a big wave. But then I'm here, the B-Man. And again, I've been to Oahu. I've been to the north side in my younger days. So I know a little bit of what I'm talking about. But I'm watching these videos on my feed, and it's September, late summer, early fall. That's big wave season, especially in Hawaii and some other islands that I don't know the name of because of B-Man, I am not cultured. But they're out there, and they're riding these big waves. And I'm watching one recently. And the surfer, I don't remember his name, and it doesn't bother me that I don't remember his name because I don't think he's a big wave surfer. And I don't think any of these big wave surfers are big wave surfers. And the reason why I say this, because I'm being told via social media that by the documentary crew, that they're surfing 50-foot waves. So that's 5 stories, 50 feet. And then they tell me, the waves today, 50 feet. And then they show the video, the documentation of the surfers going out in the jet ski, getting in the swell of the wave, and then surfing. You lose sight of them, and then they're shot out of the wave, but they're at the bottom of the wave. Like, it's a 50-foot wave, allegedly. It's a big wave, whatever the height of it is. Like, it's a 50-foot wave. But the surfers are never up here on top of the wave. They're always down here. Like, the wave, it goes up. You got that wave shape. And they're always at, like, the very beginning, the bottom of the wave, like that little where it's ocean, then it starts to twirl upward. They're always, like, at the bottom of that twirl, and then they just kind of ride the bottom of the wave that's above them. So when you're telling the B-Man and all of us non-surfers, us land creatures, that you're riding or surfing a 50-foot wave, well, maybe the wave itself is 50 feet, but you're not surfing the 50-foot wave. Like, you're surfing the bottom of the 50-foot wave. That's a key distinction, a key element that you're not describing to us. You say you surfed the 50-foot wave, but you're not on top of it. You're at the bottom of it. That's everything. Like, yeah. I was in the Empire State Building. Like, were you on the first floor though? Who gives a fuck? Where's the view from there? Like, you're on the first floor of the 50-foot wave. So don't be coming at me. Oh wow, me and my boys, we're dangerous surfers. We're surfing 50 feet waves. Like, no, you're not. No, you're not. The wave you're surfing on is 50 feet, but you're surfing the bottom. You're barely 10 feet up on the ocean. Like, you're maybe 10 feet max. So when you tell me you're surfing a 50-foot wave, maybe technically by the letter of the ocean law, you are correct. But from my eyes to your social media, I'm seeing a 50-foot wave with you like 40 feet from the top of it. So that's stolen valor, and that's got to be called out. And the B-Man just did it. What do you think? It's like, that to me, it's probably more impressive than climbing Mount Everest, not K2, but Mount Everest. But it's nothing. Like, you didn't even paddle out there. Like, your little friend with a jet ski and the little cart behind the jet ski. Like, you didn't even have to swim. You just held on as a machine that put you to the very crest of the wave, and then you just kind of stood up and had balanced the bottom of the wave. Like, that's like somebody surfing a wahoo, a 3-foot wave. I mean, it's barely more than that. So I am no longer impressed with somebody big wave surfer. If you're on the top of if you're like where it, like, the downward turn and you're 50 feet up and the wave starts to come down, if you're like on the very top of that doing a, hey bro, hang 10, I'm impressed. I would be impressed. But you're on the bottom, so I am not impressed when you say you're a big name surfer and you don't even swim out there. You have the fucking jet ski to bring you out there. Moving along. This next one comes from the subreddit Death Positive. Some surfers have died. Working on a new kind of casket. Would love your thoughts. Hi, everyone. I've been designing a hardwood casket that assembles like furniture, using interlocking wooden joinery, no screws, no metal hardware. It ships flat and assembles without tools. The interior will be lined with natural materials. It's patent pending and intended to offer a straightforward, dignified, and more affordable alternative to traditional caskets that often come with high markups and layers of middlemen. We plan to sell directly to families to keep things simple and transparent. I'm sharing this here because I want to start a conversation with a community that's thoughtful about death and autonomy. I'm curious if something like this feels respectful and helpful. Would it meet a real need? Any concerns or ideas? Thanks so much for holding space for conversations like this. You're welcome, sir. I fuck with you. I'll dance with this idea. I'm fully supportive of your IKEA casket business. I'm fully supportive of it. I'm just, I don't think you're going to be able to execute it. Like the idea is it's so simple. It's so easy peasy. It's so, like, oh, why didn't I think of that? But then it's so easy that I just get the inclination that others have thought of this idea and tried to implement it and make a business of it. And then they realize, oh, the reason why you can't make and sell your own caskets is because of red tape and the government getting in your way. Because at its core, it's a perfect business model. You make an IKEA-like casket, you get the wood, no tools involved. That probably costs you what, like $50, all the supplies, the marketing, maybe it's $100. You sell them for $200 a pop, which is way well under the average price for a casket. And then, you're a multi-millionaire within a few years. But the red tape is going to fuck you. Because I don't know much about the casket business. Personally, I don't want to be buried 6 feet under the ground. I don't want, like, I don't like spiders. I don't like worms. I don't like dirt. I'm a clean person. I shower daily, whether I'm dirty or not. So the casket, death is not for me. I want to be cremated and put in Paul Bearer's urn and used as a wrestling prop. If you know, you know. And just most millennials I speak to, it's not that we talk about dying often, but I have picked up on most millennials I talk to would rather be cremated than have to buy like a $5,000 casket and a plot of land and get buried. That's just the sense I get. So you might be better off designing some cheap plastic urn that's made in China that you could upcharge for a good price here in America. That you might want to make that like a secondary business to the homemade casket. But I don't. There's too much red tape involved. Like there's got to be a lobby, like a funeral lobby that we don't see. Like, you go down to D.C., you got the senators, you got the representatives, and then you have the big lobbies, right? You have the Second Amendment, you have the Israeli, and then you have the pharmaceutical sales lobby, and right behind those three is the casket lobby. Now, I don't know who they are. I've never seen them, but they have to be paying off all of our representatives and senators because funerals are big business. And those businesses are not going to let some no-name independent business come in and undercut them. So there's got to be a lot of state and local rules about like what is a casket and what could be used as a casket to bury you in a graveyard. Because like if those rules and regulations aren't in place, everybody would be making their own casket. Because like you said, this is such an easy idea. Oh, your grandfather dies? He kicked a bucket? Well, we'll just put together this little casket before kickoff on Sunday, and we'll bury him after 1 o'clock games. Like, it's too simple to work. All that government red tape, it's got to be involved somehow. Like, otherwise, like, why do you, like, I don't know, but it appears that just from driving around, that you have to be buried in a graveyard. I don't know why that's the case. Like, if you own your own land, like, you used to be allowed to bury yourself in the backyard or have your family bury you, or really, you used to be allowed to be buried wherever you want, whenever. You should not have to be in a casket or any type of covering device. Like, I understand that you're not going to Yankee Stadium and burying yourself in center field there, but if you have a park or a little league baseball field, or there's a tree in some outdoor area that you like if your family can go to that park over under the cover of darkness and bury you in that park and then they level out the land before dawn, that should be legal. That should be legal to do as long as like it's flattened out after they dig the hole and put you in there. That should be legal. No fine, no arrest. Bury you wherever you want to be buried. Because I'm telling you right now, I do not want to be buried. And of all the places you'd bury me, the graveyard would be the last place. I think I don't want to be in some cemetery buried next to a bunch of strangers that I've never met and who are also dead and have bad spirits and bad hygiene and were loud breathers and had bad manners and like had different like beliefs and stuff and they didn't like my sense of humor and my 9/11 jokes. Like I don't want to be anywhere near the graveyard and those evil spirits. And honestly, why do you even have to be buried? Right? Right? Like, why can't, like, if my sister kicks the bucket, why can't I throw her out with the garbage? Like, we're paying for garbage pickup every Wednesday. If she's paying for it, her body, her choice, I should be allowed to throw her in the garbage and have the garbage man pick them up and, bring them to wherever they bring the garbage and have it, smushed together and thrown in the ocean or out in space. Like, as long as you just notify the town that you reside, like, hey, yeah, my sister died. We threw her in the garbage. That's where her body is. But the reason why we're not able to do any of this is because of big funeral business. And they got a lobby. They have a stranglehold on the industry. Like funeral deaths, the funeral business is too big to fail. And they're not going to let you come in with your cheap homemade caskets. And they're not going to allow me to throw my sister in the garbage with garbage pickup on Wednesday because they have a stranglehold on the rule makers, the lawmakers, and everything's in place so that you have to buy that $5,000 casket and buy a plot of land in that cemetery. And you can get all the patents you want. Like, I don't know how you're going to get a patent for making a box. That seems like there's nothing special about that. But if you could get it, go ahead. But I'm telling you right now, like big funeral, they'll have you in court for years, and their coffers are a lot deeper than yours. Pun intended. Go suck a fat one.